Guys, what's up? It's NihonTiger. Welcome back to Panic Mode. We are here back in the Panic Pack beta for 1.7.2, and I guess you call it the Panic House, and it's turning night. I'm gonna go to sleep. Actually, no, I don't need to go to sleep right now. I'm not gonna be outside, I think. So, today I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the other parts of Thaumcraft that are very important. And those are the nodes. So the nodes are what we're focusing on today, as I mentioned last time. I do want to talk about a few other things first before we go ahead and jump into that. So first off, this bad boy right here is a crucible. And as you can see underneath it, it's got some nitor heating it, and that will work just fine. And the way you make a crucible is you make a normal cauldron, you put it down, and yeah, click on it with your wand, and there you go. So, I already made one, so it's not going to make the animation again, but it'll make a little animation and a little sound, and you get yourself a little crucible. I think I showed that off before, but worth mentioning it again. And the nitor, you can either craft it in the crucible. So you can either craft it in the crucible, which is glowstone dust plus 3 ignis, 3 lux, and 3 potentia, and you get nitor. You can also find it naturally in villages. It will be usually in the chest. There's usually a kind of a church-like building where the Thaumic villager is, and there's usually a couple chests in there. And usually you'll find your own Thaumonomicon in there, as well as some nitor and other various Thaumic elements. So you don't really have to make it, actually, even in the early game if you do enough exploring. But today I thought we would go over a few changes and a few basic things that we want to do before we get out node hunting. And first off, we're going to want to make some wand foci, and in particular we're going to make these 5 right here because they are the easiest to make. So we have obviously fire, excavation, frost, shock, equal trade. These are all kind of basic, important ones to make. We also have a research here for warding and a portable hole, but those will require a bit more research. We need infusion actually to do those. So that's kind of the downside to that. So let's go ahead, grab this stuff out of here. Oh, fun fact, if you are ever really, really short on space, you can just throw stuff in an arcane work table and it will stay there without spinning out. It's also good, you can kind of throw, whatever you want to make in here, all the basic bits and bobs you need for that, and then just have it at the ready whenever you're ready to do it. So, let's start off by doing the first one on here, the wand foci, the fire one. So it basically just shoots out a little bit of fire, and you can see our needs are 20 ignis, 10 paired DTO, as well as 4 nether quartz, a fire charge, and some fire shards. Good news is I found a fire shard. I found some fire shards and a fire charge in my adventures. And I'm going to go ahead and grab these a little bit here too. Looks like the guys have been busy working on stuff because I got a whole bunch of shards didn't have before in here. So let's go ahead and set this up. Wait, no, that's not right, is it? I always forget what order it's supposed to go in. So yeah, the shards go in the corners. The shards will always go in the corners for these basic ones, and then your quartz will go in kind of the cardinal direction slots here. North, south, east, and west, and then whatever your special item is goes in the middle. And we do not have enough, do we? We'll have to go out here. Oh, there's some ender lily seeds. Gotta be careful with that. I know I have that out here, which I can kind of drain a little bit to get what I need. There we go. Oh. Ow. Yeah, that's what I was trying to avoid. They damage you if you run into them. So, here we go. We got 24. That's enough for us to do our base here. And actually, we only need 19. But here we go. Grab that. And there is our wand focus of fire. So here we go. We'll scan that as we should. Should always scan things you make. But we need to do another one here. So which one should we do next? Oh, I like shock. This is an interesting one. It's air shards and a potato. I don't get it either. I don't understand what the potato is there for. But whatever. I had to go out and get some potatoes earlier, so may as well make the best of it. Here's our shock. Wand foci. Here we go. Scan that as well. Ooh. Give us some interesting little aspects. Famis and that's interesting. Must be because of the potato I guess inside of it. So next one I'm gonna make here, I already know this one. This is probably pretty obvious. This is gonna be frost because of the water shards that we're using. I have insufficient V, I don't have enough Ordo. Bummer. So what does excavation cost? That also costs Ordo. Let me just make sure that we have enough Terra. Yeah, we have enough Terra for that. So might need to go out here and go out to our specially little thing out here. And my little thing, you know what I mean. Node. So let's hop on out here and come on out to our node that we know. We know there's a node out here that has Ordo in it. It's kind of a pain in the butt to get to. But it might be a good time to start talking about nodes, since we're heading out to a node anyways. Nodes are your basic source of wand V in the game. You'll basically have to... It's kind of your basic source. The other source you could use, obviously, is mobs, but mobs sometimes take a little bit more grinding and a little bit more patience to get what you want, because the mob drops tend to be a little bit more random. So let me kind of... This is the hard part, is that you have to... Can I do it from the boat? I've never tried doing it from the boat before. Oh, yeah, that's a lot easier. Okay. We'll just do this from the boat. What was that? Oh, okay. Interesting. Is it dropping out V? Am I picking up? Huh. That's kind of interesting. I hadn't seen it do that before. I'll have to be careful with that one. I'll have to go back and check it later to see what's up with that. But let's float on back here. Yeah, your various nodes are kind of going to be your main source of V. And when you start, you're going to have to keep a map or use map writer or whatever you're going to use to keep track of where your nodes are, because you're not going to be able to move them. You're going to be able to move them later once you get the node in the jar research. And even then, node in the jar is a very expensive, very costly thing to make. So I haven't really made one in a really long time, so it's a little bit scary for me, I'm not going to lie. And then this will be your equal trade. So obviously you've got dirt plus an emerald in the middle, and then you need Terra, Perditio, and Ordo for that. Oh wait, no, it's excavation. I just made shock. What is equal trade? Ah, yeah, Quicksilver. Okay, Quicksilver. Here, this one's changed a little bit, I think. And I need the 2 entropy shards, and obviously 1, 2, 3, 4. Get those in the cardinal directions. Put your 2 entropy shards down here next to your 2 order shards. And we have insufficient V. We don't have enough. Don't have enough Perditio, but that's easily fixable because we have our, even though we just drained it a little bit ago, we have this one out here, which is not recovered. So let's go to the one over here. Let's do that real quick. That'll be easy enough to do, right? Oh, this is the bridge. Captain built the bridge over to this little island. I forgot what he said he was going to build out here, but we'll just use that sinister node to grab our pair DTO from. So yeah, your early game is going to be a lot like this, running back and forth between nodes and tapping them out here and there to make sure that, you know, you keep your wand at a reasonable level of V for your various creations that you're going to be making. So let's see. I think we have enough now, don't we? Yeah, I think we have just enough. Wait, does that require 20? No, 15. We have enough then. Because we're going to be getting less than 100% requirement. So yeah, we have enough now. Okay, so equal trade. Bada boom, bada bing. There we go. So let me first throw these down. We're going to scan them. Make sure we get our proper... I already have shock. I wanted frost, I think. Throw it down. Yep, frost and equal trade, right? Yes, there we go. So let's make sure I've got all 5 of those. Yes. Now, you might notice that we have a lot of wand foci just sitting in our inventory here, and we don't want to have all of these just sitting here clogging up inventory space. We can make something that holds all of them. And to do that, we need to make a focus pouch, which we made last time, but it's different now because the recipe's changed. So, a couple of things here. One, you have all the leather and the gold ingot are back, but now we also have a mundane built that's required, and that is a special bauble you have to make. So it's 3 leather and a gold ingot, and most notably, if you see here, it can also be carried in your built bauble slot. So we can now carry this on us instead of having it just in our inventory. So let's go ahead, and since I've already... Where is the gold? I didn't grab the gold, did I? Nope. There we go. So that's everything we need for that. And take a look at the mundane belt. It doesn't require any V. You can just craft it normally. We'll still use this for crafting's sake because it's easier. So get the mundane belt. Make a cauldron out of leather. Put the mundane belt in the middle. The gold ingot clasp on top. Might be a little bit short. 1.5. I keep hearing something moving out here. Must be the Botania stuff. Or it's you. Hi. How you doing? I'm gonna let you do what you do best there, Mr. Slime. Have fun. Have fun being trapped down there forever. Many apologies there for that sudden, unexpected cut. For some reason, my voice just like absolutely dropped out after that point, and I can't figure out what's going on. So, I thought I would take a break for a minute, but I did find a Terra node after all, and I got the necessary Terra. So, we have our focus pouch right there. Excellent. And we can also go ahead and open it up and just drop all of our different foci in there, all 5 of them. And then we can go ahead, hit B, and put that in the belt, the bottom one here. And so, now we can grab our wand. Hooray. And what we'll do is we'll just hit F. Does that work now? Interesting. Thought that was supposed to should work since it's on our belt. Maybe I have to have it. Oh, can I do it? That's right. That changed. So if I hold down, okay, if I hold it down F, it doesn't seem to work. You do have to have it still in your inventory. But now instead of cycling through, when you hit F. It gives you just a drag and drop menu, so you can pick from whatever foci you want. So for example, let's pick fire. Let's pick fire to start with. I don't think we have enough V to do this, but go ahead, just show off the fire one real quick. Guess what it does? Shoots out fire. No surprise. We've got a frost. Frost shoots a little frosticle, which does damage. Equal trade. Pretty self-explanatory. I don't know if I can show it off now. But no, I'll have to show that one off later. But basically, it just lets you exchange blocks in inventory that you might want to swap out. Especially helpful for building. But excavation, guess what? It excavates. What a surprise. And just to show you here. Oh, yeah, just to show you here. It works. Excuse me there for a second. But just to show you, it works on pretty much any substance, though obviously it tends to mine softer stuff quicker. And then of course we have shock, which is my favorite of the initial ones because you can just use it to shock things. Whoops, sorry, didn't mean to do that. And if you don't want to foci on your wand, just hit Shift F. There you go. Simple and easy enough, right? I'm sorry, chicken. Kind of. So let's see. That's all eggs. Good old Britannia doing its trick. But I figured since we were out and about and we got our focus pouch and one foci done, let's go ahead and do some exploration and experimentation and all that fun stuff. And as I want to say, with nodes. So nodes, as I mentioned before, are your primary source of primal V, and you can also use them as a way to go ahead and grab some of the compounds that are very hard to find very early in the game. So for example, Exanimus is going to be in all of your sinister nodes, and that's very hard to get if you're not going to the nether and dealing with yeah, see, it's right there, it's the skull one. But it's going to be very hard to get if you're not going to the nether and... Do I have my bed on me? Yeah. If you're not going to the nether and killing ghasts and getting ghast tears, because that's one of the things that has Exanimus in it as a drop. That's very hard to get to. So it's a good early game find. So let us go and I want to kind of explore a little bit, and we'll come across different types of nodes, and I'll cut here and there to show you what exactly I mean by different types of nodes that we find. So for example, let's start off with this one. This is a normal node. You can see it has some primary aspects in it. It's not bright, it's not fading or pale, just a normal node. Just usual everyday node that you find hanging around here. Nothing too exciting about it, nothing too fancy and spectacular. Fairly common. But let's take a look at this node out here. There's one that's right over here. I think this might be a bright node. So let's pop out here. And by the way, you can see nodes with your goggles of revealing, and you can see what aspects are in them, but you can only scan them with your thermometer, and it's only a normal node. And this is the only way to see what type of node you have hanging around. So you can't see that it's a normal node just from having it in sight of your goggles of revealing. You can see the aspects that make it up, so that's why you always want to have a thermometer on you, even when you have your goggles of revealing, because the goggles of revealing are just kind of like a spotter to help you, because you can see through walls to see nodes and stuff. So this node out here, I think this is also... There's that node that we wanted to scan the other day. Oh. And that's right over there. But this is a unstable node. Aha. So this is an interesting node. Unstable nodes are very, very weird. I don't know why I didn't bring that up earlier. but what they do is they generally are nodes that can change the type of aspects that are inside of them. So you might see that right now I had air and aqua and ordo in that, but that might change. The different aspects will change over time, and it will probably become some kind of other weird combination. Like there might be Gellum in that if I come back in a couple months, or a couple months game time, not like actual physical real time, but that could also work too. So this is, you can see from my scan, it's got air, ignis, terra, and aqua in it. Scanning these in the water is such a pain in the butt. That's just a normal node. So nothing too spectacular with that one. But that's how you scan them. You just have to hover your thermometer over them and right click on it, and you'll hear a little noise that sounds a lot like the scanning of anything else. And then, have I scanned this one yet? I don't feel like I've scanned this one yet. I have not. This seems also to be a new one. Also, it's just a normal node. But let me go and wander about for a bit here, and I'll try to find some different nodes so we can talk about the different types of nodes you'll come across in Thaumcraft, because it's not particularly, you'll find the same type of node all over the place. So one moment, and I shall be back when I have a new and interesting type of node. Well, well, well. Look what I found. Now, this is something I can talk about quite detailed, too. This here, this purpley splotch, and all of this, aha, there it is, Fitium. I'll explain more about that in a minute. But this purpley splotch on your map that you might notice is, ooh, where's that fibrous taint? Where is that fibrous taint? There we go. I like to scan that. Ooh, discovered a new clue to research. I don't even know what I discovered. But this right here, this bad boy right here, is a tainted node. And this is what it does. So basically, the way a tainted node works is it spreads taint across a biome, and it changes really whatever biome it is to be kind of this purplish color. So you can see it on the, oh my goodness, there is a ton. Holy crap, that is a huge tainted biome. Almost seems like there's multiple, at this point, multiple tainted nodes out here. There almost has to be. I cannot, tainted land, I cannot imagine that there's just one node out here that's producing all of this taint. It can't absolutely not happen unless somehow we've been in the game long enough that it's just spread like wildfire. But yeah, tainted nodes will do this to your lands. So you do have to be. There's another node right over there. I bet that's another tainted node. And it'll kind of cover. Oh. Okay, so I decided actually, because the tainted land crashed my client, or I don't know if it actually did or it kind of caused some other issue, but whatever. I decided I'm just going to head back home for now. Unfortunately, I do want to scan these nodes real quick if I can. But unfortunately, I also couldn't find any special nodes beyond the tainted and the sinister ones. I couldn't find, for example, one of the bright or pale nodes or the fading nodes. Now, we'll talk a little bit about those. So bright nodes, pale nodes, and fading nodes are kind of, I guess you call them a secondary class of nodes that you can find just with anything. So by secondary, I mean it's a secondary kind of way to describe them. Most nodes, you'll notice, just have one descriptor: tainted, normal, sinister. And some nodes have a secondary descriptor, a secondary word alongside of that. You'll see. It's like it'll say, oh, let's see, this could be one. Hold on, let me Because I know there's a faded node around here somewhere. Normal. Ah, rats. Thought I got lucky. And there's a faded node that's around here somewhere. But each of those different node types, the kind of the secondary descriptors for them, describes how each of the nodes regenerates as far as the aspects that you draw from them go. So, for example, a bright node will generate at a faster rate than normal. A pale node generates at a slower rate than normal. And a fading node, or a faded node... Oh, here we go. Right here, bright node. Okay, so this is a bright node that's not too far away from spawn, or spawn house, but as you can see it says normal, bright, and if I draw a V from it, let's see if we can do this real quick, because I do have some V needs, and I won't tap it out, but hopefully if it wants to cooperate, it'll start soon regenerating at a faster than normal rate. You want to cooperate with me today? You want to play nice? No, it doesn't want to play nice, I think. But normally a bright node will regenerate at a faster rate than your regular nodes. So maybe it is going at a faster rate, and I just don't realize it because I'm kind of spoiled on how fast nodes regenerate in general. But yeah, it's regenerating at a pretty alright pace compared to some of the other nodes that we have around here. Now there is another node. Let me see if I can find it on my map. It's to the... Aha, there it is. To the south of our house. I want to go and show you, because it is a very, very important node to know about, and if I didn't talk about it, I would be doing everyone a great disservice. So, I've talked about tainted nodes. We didn't come across the node in question I want to talk about. It's called a pure node. And pure nodes are what generate the... Okay, this is not the node in question. But pure nodes generate the magical forests, and they usually will also generate alongside of the... Okay, I want to be very careful when dealing with this, but the pure nodes usually generate inside of silverwood trees, and in turn, those same nodes also generate the magical forests. So usually if you find a silverwood tree, you'll usually find a pure node inside of it, and those kind of also will cleanse taint out of an area. So it's very helpful if you can grab one of those somewhere near a tainted land. But if you can't, there are various things we can use to remove taint from the land around it. So this node right here, you're noticing that I'm probably looking at it from a distance. And there's a very good reason for that, because I'm a little scared of getting too close to it. There is one type of node in this game that you do not want to ever go near. It's called a hungry node. And you could probably take a look on both the minimap and in front of us, there's some deformation of the water surface there. That's because this node acts like a little bit like a black hole, and it will suck things in. It will suck you in if you get too close. And you can usually tell which ones are hungry nodes because the ground or the water underneath them will be kind of this pockmarked. It'll basically look like it's being disturbed by something. And in this case, we know that's a hungry node. We want to stay away from it because it will not only suck you in and kill you, but it will take all of your stuff as well, and you will never get it back. It keeps the aspects of the various things that it sucks in, but your items basically go away forever. So if you got sucked in with your gold banded great wand and your crafting table and your thermometer, all the aspects that you would get from bread, bed, all these fun things would be inside of that node, but you would never get those things back. So do yourself a favor, if you ever see what you might think is a hungry node, stay the heck away from it. Don't ever go near it. I haven't even figured out a way to deal with those, in a kind of a safe manner because you can destroy them. You can destroy them like any other node in the game by using a pick or various items to break them. But the problem is, as the world kind of loads in half-heartedly there, but the problem is that if you do try and break one of those nodes and you mess up, you're going to get sucked in, you're going to get damaged, you're going to get thrown around, and it's going to be very hard to handle that node. And all of a sudden, you're kind of on your back foot trying to get out of it, and you can't get out of it, and then die, and all your stuff's gone. So yeah, I would suggest do not touch those nodes anytime, anywhere. If you just see a hungry node, stay away from it, put a marker on your map. It somehow indicates that you should not go anywhere near that node ever. Now, there is this type of node which we briefly touched on earlier, the Sinister node. So, this is the Sinister node. It's here in the Obsidian totems, which pop up all over the place, and they also create, I don't know if it does it here, yes, it creates you just saw it there, this eerie biome. It generates that around it and around the pillar usually in a square shape, like so, and you'll see it on your map indicated with this square. There's a node right out there. I didn't ever realize that was out there. I'll have to investigate that later. But you can draw from these nodes just like any other, but if you draw from them at night, you're usually going to have a bad time. If it wants to cooperate. I don't know if this one's going to cooperate with me because it's in a weird spot. But there's another eerie node right over here, and I'm going to see if I can get it to do what I want it to do. And I would just also advise that you never draw from a Sinister node at nighttime. In addition to don't ever go near a hungry node, don't draw from Sinister nodes at night because they can cause some bad things to happen just by doing that. Is that it? Is that it? I can't tell what type of mob that is. Is that a... Oh yeah, that's it. That's why you don't want to go near them at night or try to draw from them. You probably saw that guy. So, I will explain in a minute what type of creature he is. For some reason, Wayla is not showing it on my mini-map. Oh, yep, he's growing. He's growing. See? Now, these guys, those angry zombies there, they're not actually angry zombies. They're called furious zombies. And for some reason, Wayla is deciding he doesn't want to... Yeah, furious zombie. Aha. Oh, ow. Yeah, I got some new research apparently. I don't know what I got, but you can see they have a propensity to grow when you attack them, and they shrink over time, but they hit hard. They hit it very hard. It's like Angry Zombie plus 10. So you do not want to be anywhere near a Sinister node at night, just as much as you don't want to be near a hungry node ever. And you especially don't want to try and draw from them because it seems to... I don't know if that actually does make a difference in frequency of how they spawn, but it always has seemed to me to make them spawn a little bit quicker, which would also kind of make sense because you're kind of disrupting the Sinister node in the middle of the night. You know, disturbing their sacred ground. I guess they have been to the Twilight Forest. We'll have to go there at some point. So, unfortunately, in this time, we didn't get to check out the Magic Forest with the little pecks. I have not found any of those pecks so far in my adventures in Magical Forest, but might be worth checking out in the future. I'll probably do a separate trip out there. So, yeah, nodes are fun. Nodes are fun. There's a lot of investigating and digging around that goes with them. You can pretty much find them everywhere, even in the Nether. So if we went to the Nether and we did some exploring, we'd find some nodes in the Nether. I don't know if there's any nodes in the end. I don't think there are. I've never found one in the end, but there could be. There could always be one in the end. If you have Mistcraft installed in your mod pack, we don't in this one, but if you do have Mistcraft installed in your mod pack, there should be nodes that appear in your Mistcraft worlds as well. can't speak to whether there's any in, say, like the Promised Land or anything like that. But there could be. It could be. I don't know. I've never actually been to the Promised Land. That might be something we do at some point here, if we get the mod updates for that and whatnot. But yeah, so nodes are a very good source of primal aspects. They're great for researching compound aspects and building up your primal aspect reserves, because you can always find new nodes and scan new nodes, and as you scan more and more nodes, you get more and more primal aspects, which you can use to make compound aspects. So, for example, just from scanning nodes, I know I've picked up a bunch of Perditio, Ordo, and Terra today, and I think a little bit of air and aqua as well, since we did a lot of them over the water. But yeah, they're great for using. Oh, what the heck was that? They're great for using for researching new aspects. They're great for just gathering aspects. They're great for, obviously, for drawing from your drawing from the nodes to get to your V in the wand. But I will note that you should, if you do that, if you do want to, where did the cards? Okay, that's broken. Note in jar. Did I get? Okay, so yeah, I got that from scanning the Furious Zombie, the brain in the jar. That is one of the things that I was looking to get in the future, but I guess I got it ahead of time. So, if you do decide you're going to go crazy and drain your nodes, make sure you have Node Preserver for sure. That's the one you want to have. Because this is something that I've mentioned before that I wanted to make sure I had. You now have better control over the amount of V you draw from the node. You always leave at least one V of each aspect of the node unless you are sneaking. Be warned, this level of control is not possible when using wands crafted from normal wood and iron. So you can't use it when you have your basic, fundamental iron-capped wood wand, but you can use it when you get to the more advanced stuff like the gold-banded Greatwood wand, to go ahead and draw from. Okay, I guess I have enough of everything, but if you notice, I can't actually draw that. I can't actually draw that one last Perditio out of there, and that's good, because what that means is that I will not deplete the Perditio from that node as long as I have one in there. Because you can do it on accident. If you take out all of these primal aspect of a node, you can actually cause that primal aspect to disappear completely from the node, and it will not come back once it's gone. So, as simple as that. Especially with faded nodes, those just don't regenerate at all. So once they're gone, and that's that. But yeah, it's pretty much a nice basic overview. So always make sure to take care of your nodes, and your nodes will take care of you. And I think next time we're going to try and step away from some of the Thaumcraft stuff. There's a couple of other mods I want to really look into for some of the storage stuff. The backpacks mod, the iron chest mod, and maybe just a little touch on Jabba again, which we've talked about before. And then we might start getting geared up and getting prepped to do some of the very heavy-duty Thaumcraft stuff. I think that's what's next after we talk about storage, because you gotta have all this stuff, and you gotta have somewhere to store it, right? Right. So, I'm gonna go ahead and just scan a few new things in here. Guys have been busy working on stuff, and I'm sure I'm a little bit behind. But, as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time here on Panic Mode. Hopefully with about 50% less crashes. That would be very nice.